I'm Bailey. Welcome back to my channel. I share a lot of intentional pregnancy, childbirth, and parenting tips. So if you're new here, welcome. And I am so excited today because I have a big announcement. I would like to introduce you to Ellice Yang, traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and co-founder of Acutoronto. So we are here at Acutoronto today, and I'll be asking her a few questions. Now, if you haven't seen my how to induce labor video, go check it out. I found this clinic that specializes in acupuncture for fertility, and less than 48 hours later, I went into labor. And so I was really happy. And I didn't have to be induced in the hospital. And I actually came here when I was 41 weeks pregnant. I was so ready to get this baby out, and I drove about an hour to get here because I live outside of the city, and I loved my experience. I loved it so much that I reached out to Elise, and she was so kind to sit down with me and talk about it today. So thank you so much, Elise.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I just want to pick your brain a little. I really want to know kind of what got you into this field, how it all began, and how you became designated in this specific area.
I grew up with Chinese medicine. I'm Korean, but Chinese medicine was a big part of, growing up. Being exposed to it. Anytime we were sick, my mom would have herbal teas for us and tonics when the season changed. I kind of grew up with it. And in undergrad, I did want to get into complementary alternative medicine, which is what it was kind of referred to CAM. And here I am, specializing more in Chinese medicine, more focused in traditional Chinese medicine and in women's health.
Right, okay. That's so neat. I wish I grew up with because I'm so interested now that I'm an adult in traditional Chinese medicine. And it's been around for years and years and years. People think it's like this new age thing, oh, we're all, healthy. But no, it's been around for thousands and thousands of years, right? So for those of you who don't know, or for those of you watching who live close by, we are in Toronto. We are in the Yonge and Eglinton Health Building.
Medical
the medical center. So come check them out. They're on the second floor. It's beautiful here. I love it. I came here to induce labor, as I said.
Yep.
I was 41 weeks. I was ready, and I actually had a home birth. I don't know if I told you.
I didn't know that for sure. Yeah. Oh, wow.
I was hoping to, but I didn't know if it would happen. And so I thought, this baby's not coming out, and now I've had to schedule an induction. So an induction was scheduled at 42 weeks. And I was just hoping, that wouldn't happen because obviously that was at the hospital. I was trying to avoid the interventions. So then when I started doing some research, I found acupuncture to help induce labor, and I thought, that's so interesting. I have never heard about acupuncture being used to induce labor, and I never even experienced acupuncture before, so it was kind of a new thing to me.
Yeah. So it's pretty common that a lot of our pregnant moms-to-be come in and they haven't tried acupuncture at all.
That's like me.
But very desperate to get things moving. So yes, most of the time they've already reached full term.
So specifically with regards to the labor-inducing acupuncture, when do you kind of have the green light to do that type of acupuncture? 38 weeks too early?
Yeah, so it depends case by case as well. Like some women do come in because they have been given an induction date prior to their due date because usually they're with an OB, and if they feel that the baby is going to be too big, or there's some sort of health complications, and then the doctors recommend that they go in earlier. But usually labor induction acupuncture isn't necessarily to just jumpstart contractions and kind of like an aggressive sort of stimulation like that, but to kind of help the natural progression of labor. First of all, to soften the cervix, and then help loosen the ligaments and promote blood flow to the uterus and help the baby to descend. And
I know there are I remember Jasmine telling me about certain pressure points that she wanted me to focus on after.
Yes.
She kept saying push on these spots, and I can't remember. Was it on right around here?
Yeah, so there's one just about 4 finger lengths above your little ankle bone that sticks out.
Oh, little thing.
Yeah, so that one is specifically for ripening the cervix or softening the cervix. So once the cervix is fully thinned out, that's when dilation can start to happen.
How does that work? So like you're putting pressure down here, right? So how does it work in order to get that cervix right?
No, it's on your legs and you're trying to stimulate things up in your abdomen. So all these points along our body, situated all over our body, they are organized by being placed along something called channels or meridians. So you may have seen like acupuncture point dolls models where there's all these lines mapped out all over their body. So this point is called spleen 6, and it's along a channel that does cross the uterus, but it also has a special function to help stimulate blood flow, nourish blood.
Wow. So essentially you're stimulating that specific spot because it runs all the way up.
And it's you can think of it as a distal point. So a lot of these meridians, when you look at like from Western medicine, the anatomy, it is closely mapped out to the way our peripheral nervous system is mapped out. So they think that might have something to do with it.
Everybody wants to know, does it hurt? I'll say what I think, and then I guess you can give your professional opinion. I had no idea if it would hurt, and I didn't feel like it bothered me at all. I actually felt so relaxed, and I think I was feeling very optimistic because I'm here now, things are going to get going. I was just trying to channel all of that.
Positive energy.
But I think what helped me relax even more was knowing that there was a bathroom right in the room. Because at that point in my pregnancy, I remember being nervous. I'm like, oh my goodness, what if I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of... And I did.
Oh, you did?
But it was right there. Jasmine said, just help yourself, it's right there.
So the way that we do the treatment, we break it up into two different sections. So the first part is we have you sitting upright to do the treatments on the legs, the hands, and whatnot. And then we take them out, and then after about 25 minutes, and then we do the back points, lower sacral points while you're sitting, leaning forward. So as you said, our goal is to make sure you're as relaxed as possible. So these points, acupuncture isn't painful. If you do feel anything, it may feel more of a pressure, dull, kind of achy, radiating, but nothing really extremely painful.
Like I said, I came here for the labor induction aspect. But your clinic is really well known for its abilities to help with fertility. And I think a lot of people don't realize that acupuncture actually, does help in that sense. So why don't we touch on that? What can you kind of expect for a woman and a man? Both come in. Do they come in after they've been trying for quite some time, or can they come in anytime that they're ready and they feel like they haven't gotten pregnant? How does it work?
We do see patients who have been just recently trying and just trying to do whatever they can to help optimize, egg quality, regulating their cycles, and also we do a lot of talks with our patients on education about, charting and some of the things that they should talk to their doctor about in terms of getting lab work done to just make sure things are in order.
So you're bringing things down for labor induction. Are you bringing things up for fertility?
So different parts of, depending on, so every patient coming in, their constitution might be a little bit different. Even for induction, so, Jasmine probably asked you a little bit more about and taking a look at the tongue and checking your pulse to get an idea of your underlying constitution to see if there's specific things that we can do to help support your body. And in fertility, we do the same thing, or for any condition. That's the beauty, I think, of Chinese medicine, is that it's a holistic approach. And each protocol is very catered to that person. If there's deficiencies, we want to help tonify. If there's blockage, we want to help move.
So you're trying to just create almost an equilibrium.
Yes, exactly, a balance.
And it's really individual based, whole body. What does the tongue indicate? A number of things, or?
So the tongue, we're looking at 3 aspects of the tongue, the color of the tongue, first of all. And then sometimes it's red, sometimes it's pale, sometimes there's purplish. And then we're looking at the body of the tongue. So is it very swollen with teeth marks, or is it very thin? So there's a lot of things. And the coating.
Really?
So a lot of us might want to just brush that coating off, but if there is a really thick coating, that can indicate, something like dampness, something with your diet. If it's very dry, you might be deficient in things like fluid and blood. Yeah.
Wow, so you can tell a lot by just looking at someone's tongue.
The treatments can also help with your postpartum recovery as well. Although you came in just for the induction, doing acupuncture using this Prebirth acupuncture. I don't know if you've heard of it, where you start like 4 weeks before your due date to help.
Okay.
So that was usually done if there were conditions that we wanted to treat, but it's since been shown that it does help with the shorter labor time and just healthy women with healthy pregnancies to do that once a week.
Really? Starting at like 36 to 40 weeks?
Yeah, 36, 37 weeks to start that weekly, and then as you get close to your due date, we would just bump up your treatments a little bit and start doing the induction points up.
That's good to know because I was so set on if I could shorten my labor, and being a first-time mom, I was in active labor for 11 hours, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Like, I think a lot of first-time moms have been in labor longer.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, right?
Yeah.
So, and speaking of, you have 3 kids.
I
and
do.
Earlier, you were telling me that with your second child, you did acupuncture. Was it all throughout?
So I did the Prebirth acupuncture with him.
Okay.
And did very... Jasmine was training me.
Yeah.
So and I did treatments back to back with him, and my labor experience with him was much easier, much smoother.
And you think that the acupuncture really helped with that?
I really do.
Yeah.
So then with my third, the issue with my third was that it kept stalling. Like I had contractions and then it would stop. So then on the day that I actually went into labor, I'm like, I thought I was going into labor.
Yeah.
Then it stalled. I'm like, Jasmine, I'm coming in. So she treated me, and then I could feel the contractions coming on regularly during the treatment.
Oh, wow.
Called my midwife, met her at the birth center, and he was born in 4 hours.
Wow. You know what? Jasmine has told me stories where some people will be getting their acupuncture and they'll say, okay, I'm having contractions. And she would say, you might feel a little bit, you might feel slight contractions and whatnot. And I remember when I was leaving, you had said to me, come back or call us in 48 hours.
Yes.
Give it 48 hours, see what happens. And I went into labor after 46 hours.
Okay,
so
that's good.
It was within the 48 hours,
one
treatment, and I didn't do anything differently. So I honestly think that it was the acupuncture because I had been doing my same thing, like my usual thing, and I had prior to that, I had no signs of labor. I had 0 Braxton Hicks, no mucus. I didn't have anything. And so when I made the appointment to come in, I was like, okay, I need all the help I can get because I don't think I'm going into labor on my own.
That's a really common question a lot of our moms to be asked is, how many treatments do I need? And really truthfully, if you're already past that, your due date, a lot of the times you may just need the 1 treatment, but we like to just kind of book one in, or they can call us to book one in a day or 2 after that first treatment just in case they need it.
Okay.
And sometimes if they do, they've had a chance to go in and see their caregiver and there's some progression, or they were able to have a stretch and sweep done, whereas they couldn't before. Sometimes it might be like that where, but a lot of the times, it can only just you may just need that 1 session. We like to see our patients who are trying to conceive during their pregnancy if they have any symptoms that or need help.
I noticed nausea, fatigue can help
pain. Sciatica is a big one.
Oh yes, pelvic pain.
Sure. Yeah.
I had a lot of that when I was pregnant.
Or even threatened miscarriage if they've had a history of habitual miscarriage. We do a lot of work using Chinese herbs and acupuncture to help support their pregnancy.
Well, thank you so much, Elise, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and click that thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Bye.